Hi, I'm Petra Nobel. I am a certified postpartum doula, and I'm also a certified infant and child sleep consultant. I work as a postpartum doula and as a sleep consultant. I have been a postpartum doula for most of my working life. First as a maternity care nurse in the Netherlands, and now here in Canada for the last 8 years, I believe, and a sleep consultant for the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah. And I'm also the instructor for the Dutch Infant and Child Sleep Consulting Program for the International Parenting and Health Institute. Okay, I'm an infant and child sleep consultant, and the reason why I became an infant and child sleep consultant is because as a postpartum doula, I saw that a lot of parents were struggling with sleep for their babies and children. So then I saw them going to sleep trainers that from my background and from what I understood and how I was parenting my children, I wasn't really comfortable with. There was a lot of real training involved, and there was like this one program fits all, and I didn't really like that. So I looked into a way of how I could support my clients, and that's how I became like an infant and child sleep consultant through the International Parenting and Health Institute, where they teach you about sleep overall and sleep in general and how sleep works and why it works for certain babies and children in this way and not in a different way. So you look at life overall of a baby, and you learn to understand that there's no one program that fits every child, every family, every baby. So every client that you take on as a sleep consultant is different, and you really need to do your research with the client. Why are things going the way they are going? So is their nutrition correct? Is their sleep environment correct? Are they healthy? How are they interacting with their child? How are they attached with their children? How is the relationship between partner, child, baby, other children? So it's a lot more than just sleep. I don't think that it's not that babies are not sleeping properly. Babies need to learn to sleep in a way that they can get the best sleep that they can get. I think that what happens is that a lot of parents do not realize that babies are, especially the first months of their life, are not able to sleep independently, and they need help by being carried, like in a carrier, or being helped to get sleep in a way that is safe and healthy. And if you don't know that beforehand as a parent, and I think that's also because we don't see how other parents are parenting their children. So we don't see how other parents are working with sleep with their children. So that I think is the biggest challenge, because we don't know how challenging it can be for other parents, and we think that only our children are having a hard time, and we don't understand. New parents do not understand always what is normal for a 3-month-old baby. Like a 3-month-old baby doesn't sleep 3 naps a day on its own for an hour and a half. If a 3-month-old baby can do that, that's really great, but it's not something that a 3-month-old baby should be doing on its own without any assistance. Sleep is feeding the brain, and the brain is developing so much, especially, well, for children always, but the first 3 months of a baby's life is called the 4th trimester, and there's so much development going on during that 4th trimester. Like you can just see the baby's head is growing a lot during that time because the baby's brain is developing. So sleep is what they need for development. So brain development, that's what it's all about. Lack of sleep affects the sleep for babies, especially for newborn babies. The longer a baby is awake, the more difficult it is for a baby to fall asleep and stay asleep. So when a baby is sleeping really nicely during the day, it often will also sleep nicely at night and better and longer stretches. And that is especially after 3 months when a baby's sleep starts to fall into place and develop, especially nighttime sleep at that age. That's what you want. You want the baby to sleep better. To learn to understand their baby, to learn the signs of when your child is asleep, to learn the signs of when your child is tired, to understand that, yes, the better a baby sleeps, the more a baby will sleep. So if you understand that part, and if you understand that every baby at every age has a certain amount of sleep in 24 hours that they want and that they need, and you need to be able to distribute that amount of sleep over those 24 hours. When you understand that, and when you work with that, that's when you get the benefits from sleep. One of the other things that I think is also important, that you understand that it's not just sleep, it's the sleep environment, it's also the nutrition. So, and the amount of time that a baby is awake. So if you want to avoid pitfalls, you have to look at those things too. It's so much more. Sleep is not just coming by itself. Like if a baby is not awake long enough, it will also not sleep long enough because there's not enough sleep pressure. If a baby is too long, awake too long, it is becoming overtired. An overtired baby cannot fall asleep and cannot stay asleep through sleep cycles. Also, you need to understand that daytime sleep is falling into place later than nighttime sleep. So you will first start to see that a baby around 3 months is starting in the evening hours, starting to get a longer stretch of sleep, and that will develop into the night. Around 4 or 5 months, maybe 5-6 months for most of the babies actually, there is the daytime sleep is falling into place. So don't think that you can have those things already in place when the baby's brain is not ready for it. There's development that is always working against sleep. Like when a baby develops new skills, it often interrupts with sleep. And that can be when they're really young, when they start rolling around and they try to roll in their crib from one side to the other side, and they get stuck, and it's like, well, then don't roll around. Well, they need to learn these new skills, but it's also when they are older, when they start learning to talk. It's like all of a sudden when they're in the crib, they think like, okay, let me practice my speech, my babbling. So those are the things that are really important when you work on sleep. Even when a baby is ready to sleep on their own, sleep is still continuing to give you challenges. It will never be done because wake windows are changing for a baby. They go from 3 naps to 2 naps. They go from bedtime at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and then they go back to 7:30 again, and then so it's like you really have to look at everything in a baby's life, like nutrition, development, everything, and that's what you need to understand to work on sleep. Okay, a 6-month-old baby, if nutrition if breastfeeding is really going well, a 6-month-old baby, we expect that baby to sleep at least 5-6 hours at night. If I work with a 6-month-old baby on sleep, I would look at what is the nutrition intake, and with nutrition at this age I only look at milk, in this case breast milk. So what I would make sure is that does this baby has enough feedings during the day, and are these really good full feedings? Like sometimes the baby gets a little bit lazy on the breast, So that's when you need to make sure like every feeding is a full feeding. So that's what I would work on first. And then if I would work on sleep with this baby, I would schedule 2 dream feeds, so that this baby will learn to get food at certain time at night but not wake up for it. So at any other time the baby would wake up, we would know like, okay, you are not hungry because we have fed you maybe 4 hours ago or 5 hours ago and it was a good full feeding, and then you can work on getting that baby back to sleep. But you really want to make sure that this baby is on a good weight, at a good weight, and is getting good feedings. So that's what you look at first.